Hi friends, welcome to my channel where we talk about all the things that you need to transform your life starting today. And this week we are specifically focusing on transformation and personal growth. Today's topic is why forgiveness is the most powerful tool for healing, and how do we even go about that. So I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is something that is not a one and done situation. For me, the times that I found myself thinking that I forgiven someone, there is a hidden angle where there was still resistance to it. And I can only speak from experience. And for me, I believe that forgiveness is one of the most difficult lessons in this life. Because when you choose to forgive, it is the conscious decision that and awareness that even if something was not ideal for you, even if something hurt you, even if something really shattered you, even if every external thing around you was saying not to forgive, when you choose forgiveness, you're not just choosing yourself, you are choosing to be the light and align into the essence of the truth of who you are, which is unconditional love. And I know maybe if some of you have heard this term, unconditional love, there may be aspects that do not resonate, okay? And the reason for that is because as humans, we have our limitation, right? As humans, more often than not, the way that our communication or relationships work is very conditional. It is very conditional. So because of that, because of this conditional love that has been taught, that has been embedded in our conscious and subconscious awareness, we as a collective have learned to operate from that condition. And conditions aren't always a bad thing, right? Conditions, if you want to kind of shift the perspective, a condition is simply a boundary. At the same time, when you go through your life with only conditions, you are limiting and you are literally blocking yourself from the abundance that you inherently have within you and that you can experience around you. And one element of that is forgiveness. Innately, we have an abundance of forgiveness within us because that is simply how we were created. Just imagine if God held a grudge on every mistake that we made. Imagine if God was like, you know what, I'm not gonna talk to her anymore because she said something I didn't like. Or I'm not gonna be there for him because he didn't keep his promise. Or I'm not gonna support them anymore because they were lying. Just little things that as humans sometimes we could do. But God is just looking at all of his mistakes, and literally every single day, it's like, okay, I see you. Do better next time. I still love you. Let's do better next time. I still love you. I still love you. And forgiveness doesn't mean bypassing or just pretending that something didn't happen, okay? Forgiveness is merely the acknowledgement, the awareness, and the conscious decision to be like, okay, I see this. I see what happened here. And I'm still choosing sovereignly, as a sovereign individual, I still choose to love you, even if it wasn't, whatever you did wasn't to my liking. And love means different things for different people. Love itself has various forms. I was actually learning about this recently because I wasn't even aware prior that there's like 7 types of love, or 4, is it 7 or 4? Somewhere in between there. There's various types of love. And forgiveness is something that is rooted into all of them, into all expressions. Because as humans and as relational beings, again, we are going to make mistakes. We are going to say the thing that we probably could have held our tongue on. Or we are going to take actions that maybe not until further down the line you're like, oh, yeah, maybe I could have done that differently. There's going to be so many moments in life where you may ask yourself how you could have showed up differently. And also, there could be those moments where you simply just cannot see beyond the action that someone else did. And I believe that time is a great teacher. Time is a great teacher. And also, forgiveness isn't for the other person. Forgiveness is for yourself. Forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for yourself. So when we hold on to grudges, when we hold on to anger, when we hold on to resentment, bitterness, anything that keeps us in this perspective of victim, or the other extreme of abuser, anything that keeps you in those perspectives is hurting you, while also I know this is very delicate because you will only fully comprehend if you've experienced this. You will only fully comprehend if you've experienced some form of being in the role of victim or being in the role of abuser. And at some point, we actually all have been in that. Maybe not as extreme, maybe on very subtle levels, but at one point we've all been in that. Whether that be in a one-on-one relationship or the way that we view ourselves in connection to the whole, in connection to a society, in connection to the greater collective. Okay? Forgiveness is one of the most potent and powerful tools that you can use to completely transform and up-level your life. You can do all of the things. You can get your habits in order. You can start going back to therapy. You can clean up your diet. You can find new streams of income. You can check off everything on your to-do list. You can do all these things, right? You can do all the things that seem, or that you are told this is what you need to do to get to this point, to become better. And while all of these are tools, there's another layer to the things that we do. And when you scratch the surface of your intentions, it is simply just that. It is the surface. But if you want to resolve, or rather transform, transmute, and get to the root, it will go beyond the habits. It will go beyond the day-to-day actions. It will go beyond the perceived actions that you think you need to be doing. So one tool that goes beyond the surface of these actions is the tool of forgiveness. Forgiveness comes in various forms. Forgiveness can be very, very small and subtle, and it can be very, very big and grand. But forgiveness does not only come in relation to another. Forgiveness is also forgiveness of self. You must constantly choose to forgive in order to move forward, in order to transform. Because when you don't forgive, you become a breeding ground of past energy that will leak into your present and or even future reality. And what you want in transformation, what you want in your up level, is not a shaky foundation. It is something that is so rooted, that is so unwavering, that when a moment arises, you can choose forgiveness. what does forgiveness look like? Forgiveness can simply be the acknowledgement of where there was hurt, where there was action or misaction that came from fear, acknowledging this, feeling this. When you push away those present emotions that come up, you have not forgiven. It is one thing to speak forgiveness, it is another to feel forgiveness. It is one thing to speak forgiveness, it is another to feel forgiveness. Although you can do all the things of telling your mind, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive. While yes, that can be a tool, a starting point to go beneath the surface, one must feel forgiveness. But in order to get into that point, into that state of being, there is a period of purging. There is a period where your mind and body will be purging, and it may seem like steps are being taken backwards. It may seem like a lack of progress because there is maybe a rush of emotions surfacing. There may be an overwhelm of thoughts surfacing, and this will also look like coming in moments that were unexpected, coming in times that may have felt very irrelevant. And it is simply the higher mind, the higher self, inviting you to look at what is still being hidden, what is still asking to be looked at. And when you allow yourself to feel in full capacity, when you decide if something needs to be said, if you choose to use your words, what is it that needs to be said? And or if you choose to use your silence, what is it that needs to be sat with and anchored in with self? At times there may be the opportunity to do both. And there will be some moments where the external circumstance or perception may feel like there is no options. There is always an option. As you are a sovereign individual, you must choose your flavor of forgiveness. You will come to know when forgiveness is truly present when the thought, the memory of something, someone, or yourself has transformed into role of observer rather than direct attachment to this person, place, thing, or moment. You can recall what it is, what it was, and detach from it. It doesn't mean that what occurred was from love or was something that you needed to continue to be in or around. That does not mean that. But if you can simply allow yourself to detach, then you are no longer in the role of victim or abuser. You are an observer. And if you so choose, in recalling what it is, who it was, that requires forgiveness, simply set it free. You set it free by embodying your freedom. Forgiveness is freedom. To forgive is the ability to understand that you are free. You are free, you are free, you are free. With the unconditional love that resides within, it is with great honor to forgive. And it is with great honor to love. So to sum this up, you guys, coming into practical day-to-day things that you can do. Yes, while that might be helpful, there's always a deeper level to the things that we do. And to get to the root, it requires coming into that more subconscious awareness. So as far as the day-to-day, I've tried the things, guys. I've tried the things. I've tried the Ho'oponopono. If you haven't heard of it, I recommend looking it up. It's a Hawaiian prayer for forgiveness. It works great. Yet, when there is deeper levels that need to be acknowledged, there is more of you that also needs to be acknowledged. And the best test for that really is the present moment, or just how you react to certain things. Maybe if it's something that sparks a memory, or even if you are literally reliving something, or something reminds you of what it is that you need forgiveness around. The cues in which, where in the process of forgiveness you are, is how do you feel when that thing happens? How do you feel when that memory comes up? How do you feel when maybe you hear something that replicates that, or that is, like feeling like deja vu or something like that, right? How do you react? What thoughts come up, if any? So part of detaching, in a way, is more so evaluating the thing or situation, right? So if you can come into that role, then you have a level of detachment where you can kind of just analyze and take inventory of what were the facts of what happened. Like, taking out any extra stuff, what were the facts of what happened? And then from there, okay, depending on these facts, how did that make me feel? How did, whatever, whoever, whenever, how did that make me feel? And maybe just asking that question can lead you into allowing yourself to feel that in the moment. Because a lot of times with forgiveness, there may be a thought that the forgiveness has already been granted, and or you think, I'm never gonna forgive, there's no point in forgiving. Your body will tell you how that decision, how that thought is immediately impacting you. And we have a choice, but if you want to live the best life that you possibly can, if you are ready for your up level, in order to go to this up level, embrace this up level, forgiveness is a determining factor of this. And this includes yourself. This includes yourself. Write down anything that you feel regret for, or like just guilt or shame, or just thinking that it could have gone better. Write down those moments or those thoughts, and I want you to really look at them. Take a few minutes to write it out, and start looking at them and really recalling the facts of the situation. Okay? Because a lot of times the way that we perceive something can be a lot more charged, can be a lot more just potent, and feel very personal, because we don't look at the facts. Okay? And then once you can do that, if you want to do your forgiveness prayer, you can go ahead and do that, And also writing a new narrative for yourself. Writing a new narrative for yourself. Okay, I felt shame around this. I feel guilty for this. I should have said that. I wish it would have been this way. How could I? All the things, right? Now, I honor my emotions towards XYZ. I honor feeling sad around this situation. I honor where I've hurt myself. I honor where I acted out of anger or I acted out of fear. And now, in this present now, I choose to rewrite my story. I choose forgiveness. I release any thoughts, any habits, any stories, any patterns, any actions that are inhibiting me from the embodiment of forgiveness and from fully transforming and anchoring in my highest reality, my fullest transformation, my truest essence. There is like an eagle that just flew past my home. But yeah, you can personalize this to any which way you'd like. Those were ideas. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings, your awareness. All those things factor into forgiveness. Okay? I pray over every single person watching this video. I pray that this really is just exactly what you need to hear. And that no matter what aspect, you can take it or leave it, but I pray that something sparks a new perspective in you today. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Love you guys.